May I come in, sir?
Come, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Priyanshu Mishra.
Yes.
So, briefly introduce yourself to us.
So, my name is Priyanshu Mishra. I belong to village Maryatpur in district Mau of Uttar Pradesh. I have done my graduation from Jaunpur University, and I'm involved in UPSC preparation since year 2018.
2000?
Sir.
Priyanshu, you have a hobby of watching foreign news channels. So which ones do you watch?
So it is very diverse range of channels. Few one from United States such as Fox News, CNN. Then from Europe it is DW News, France 24. Then there is Euro News also. From ASEAN region there is CNA Insider, and there is CGT and SCMP also. So these are channels that I follow.
Okay. Which one do you think is non-partisan, factual, authentic?
So it is very hard to say so, because at the end of the day they mix facts with their own narratives. So most of the times we will finding that there is some kind of narrative that is going to intertwine.
So they all do that.
Yeah.
Interestingly, you didn't name BBC and CNN.
Yeah, sir. CNN I named, sir. BBC I.
Acha, CNN you named, okay. BBC you forgot or you don't?
I know, sir. I forgot.
Okay, doesn't matter. So you think that but what is the extent of narrative mix there and here?
Sir, if you allow me, I would like to.
Yeah, sure. It's
some examples, sir. If I name Al Jazeera, so Al Jazeera is a channel that is known for covering rights issues, and also they raise these issues very prominently. But recently, FIFA World Cup was held in Doha, Qatar basically. And we saw there massive human rights violations of workers from Nepal, India, Bangladesh, and all these reasons. Not a single report came in their news channels.
And when they were covering Israel-Hamas, they were only putting a line there, genocide and genocide consistently. Right. So, do you think media is paid to do all that?
So if we see finances of media channels, so there is going to be multiple sources of finances. Some of them are crowd-funded also. Some of them are funded by government also. For recent, I read in today's newspaper itself. So Donald Trump is cutting the funding that is going to the news channels such as Voice of America. So it is government funded also. So it is going to be very tough that you are taking some fund from the government and you are not going to you are going to report not in accordance to this.
Okay. So how do you see the stock market now recovering after this crash, or will it remain where it has reached today?
So as far as Indian stock market is concerned, I think the worst is over, because we have seen corrections starting from November month. So from November onwards, we have seen massive correction. I think some stocks has corrected themselves to 40 to 45% extent. So I think that part is over. And recently, two very important events are coming up. The first one is Federal Policy Review of United States, and second one is RBI Policy Review. So these two review, there is wide expectation that there is going to be some rate cut, because in India also inflation rate has come down. So most possibly there is going to be a rate cut in India also and in United States also. So once this rate cuts are done, I see market again gaining momentum, and it is going to go forwards.
See, Priyanshu, heard that, because people had started taking out money from Indian market and investing in US. So was that correct?
The fund that left Indian market, sir, it went to multiple market, and most prominently it went to China, sir, because what happened ki at that time China launched a very massive stimulus package. It was some 1.4 trillion US dollars, sir. So it was widely anticipated that Chinese market is going to be a very robust mode. So that's why whatever FPI outflow happened in India, most of the share was cornered by China. But
so do you think that this is also some kind of a policy which China has of somehow weakening its neighbors?
So if we see their export-import policy, obviously they have that kind of policy, because right now also the Chinese are having massive manufacturing capacity. Right now, we have entered into an era where each and everyone is going to get a level playing field. the manufacturing capacity, manufacturing prowess of China has gone to an extent that they are going to have a competitive edge on each and every competitor. So yes, if we see export import policy, they are having that edge, but other countries are also catching up. If we see India in pharmaceutical sector, India has massive competitive edge on China. So we are also trying to catch up. We are also coming up with various schemes. So yes, we are also catching up to them.
Now tell me, Priyanshu, can you name to me some island countries?
Yes, sir. Island countries, there are, if we see in Micronesia region, there is a country, Vanuatu, which was recently in news due to Lalit Modi passport issue. If we see Caribbean side, there are two countries. First one is Haiti and Dominican Republic, sharing the same island, and still they are having very vastly different kind of human development indicators. So these are few countries, if I can.
So do you think that the big powers, are now eyeing the island countries for a possible takeover or softening them to align with them?
Yes. So recently, sea line of communications, they have attained a very huge significance in global trade and commerce paradigm, and that's why most of these island countries are located in, we can say, proximity to these sea lines of communication. If we name a few, Maldives is there, Mauritius is there. So they are located as such that every country is willing to have a pie in those countries. So they need to have some kind of military outpost, so that they are going to have influence on the sea line of communications.
Okay, thank you, Priyanshu.
Priyanshu, Indian Foreign Service is your first preference. Can you define briefly what should be the role of a diplomat?
So our diplomats' very first role.
Not our diplomats. What is the diplomat's role?
Diplomat's role is solution of crisis without at least a very cost-effective way. So if we try to put it.
So there is no conflict.
There is conflict, sir.
No, if there is no conflict.
If there is no conflict in.
What is the normal role? Diplomats are not, I suppose, sent abroad to resolve the conflict. Or to quote Morgenthau, you must have read Morgenthau. What Morgenthau defined as a diplomat?
Diplomacy as a mean to serve national interests.
Some national interest. In fact, what he said that best talents are sent abroad to speak lies on behalf of his own country. This is what exactly Morgenthau has said. So you have gone away from, do you differ from him that it is they are sent only to in conflict resolution?
So as far as Morgenthau statement is concerned, Morgenthau belonged to realist school of thought. He is father of classical realism. So what Morgenthau said about diplomacy is
his whole goes today. Diplomats are sent abroad to promote their national interest, his host country's national interest, isn't it?
It is, sir, but
that's the main job.
It is, sir, but how I see it, if we see India's foreign policy and Indian diplomats working around the world, we see that we prioritize our national interests, but at the same time we are also having the feeling of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and we are also.
No, that's not a part of our foreign policy. Main foreign policy is national interest. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, all these things, those are not related to our diplomacy as such, isn't it? More than 70% of our foreign policy is directed towards our neighbors. What is our neighborhood foreign policy?
Our neighborhood foreign policy is.
What is the main concern?
So we follow neighborhood first policy in our neighborhood, as far as our neighborhood.
That I have already said, more than 70%. No. What is the our India's neighborhood foreign policy?
So very first problem, the challenges that we are facing in our neighborhood, sir, the very first one is state-sponsored terrorism. That is mostly emanates from Pakistan side, sir. Recently, we are also facing challenges on Bangladesh border due to the regime change that happened over there. And we are also facing problems at Myanmar's border, in response of which we have also decided to fence all of our more than 600 kilometers border with Myanmar, sir. So this is first challenge that we are facing.
Other countries?
Other countries,
same challenges of insurgency?
Yes, sir. Challenges of insurgency is from
China?
China is mostly China sponsors the insurgencies that are emanating from those countries into India, sir. And secondly, more and more China is getting integrated into our region. It is creating challenge to us because due to checkbook diplomacy and due to various other means,
No,
China.
they are sending insurgents via in our northeastern region, isn't it?
So most of the insurgents that come in our northeastern region, they originate from Myanmar, but they are pushed by China, sir.
They are pushed by China with Chinese rifles, weapons. We have
Yes.
found out.
And Chinese funding, of course.
So China is also responsible for this thing, and any other country?
Apart from China, we are some references to United States
No, never.
neighborhood. So Maldives has been a concern when Muiju came there, but mostly we see that after the community.
Okay, after that, any other country? Sri Lanka?
Sri Lanka, so when Anurag Dissanayake became president there, we had some concerns because he has some ideological leanings that is going to be threatening for India, especially due to involvement.
Strategic, because they are Hamad to port there. They have already given again. They have,
Right, sir.
so think about India's neighborhood.
Right, sir. Another solar project was also there.
Any is that a main concern of our foreign policy in the neighborhood? Have you heard? I asked you of the role of a diplomat just to promote national interest in a foreign country. Have you heard that, or have you come across to the news that the South African ambassador to United States has been expelled?
Yes, I have.
Do you think that it has been handled in a proper manner?
No, sir. It hasn't been handled in a proper because the allegation that was casted on South African ambassador, it was regarding that he is anti-Trump. So,
No, he had made a statement. He had gone ex-handle. He has given a statement, which no country will accept. Okay, you cannot call a head of the state super white supremacist. You cannot call him. So that he has sent there to promote South Africa's national interest, but he has transgressed the limit. So the decision is correct. My question is, has it been handled in a proper diplomatic manner?
So if, as far as my opinion is concerned, I don't think it has been handled because if we see India and Pakistan has long history as history.
No, I'm talking about that, not India, Pakistan.
I don't think so.
Why? Why? I also don't think, but why?
Expelling ambassador means that it is kind of cutting the communication that you are already having.
No, expulsion is correct. But my question is, has proper diplomatic convention, not rule, convention been followed?
Sir, as far as posting of ambassadors are concerned, it is directed by Geneva Agreement, sir, if I'm not.
No, the procedure. What is the procedure? What is the standard practice?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware about.
Okay, time is up, so I'm not going deeper. Standard practice is call the foreign diplomat or ambassador to your foreign office, brief him, give him the, he was addressing to the people of Johannesburg, not to the Americans. Okay. So he should be given a chance to explain himself first. Then the matter should have been taken between United States and South African governments. And the South African governments should be told that you withdraw your diplomat. Isn't it? As we have done in the case of
Pakistan.
Recently, very recently, last year. Sanjay Verma was our High Commissioner to Ottawa, isn't it, Canada? And when there was a court case against him, we have recalled him, isn't it? It's not the other way. We ourselves have recalled him. So this should have been the procedure, not procedure. This is a standard procedure. But they have not followed the standard procedure. They have gone to the extreme. Within they have given his diplomatic immunity was revoked within 48 hours, and he has been given up to from 17th to 21st. There is 4 days to pack up and go, isn't it? So this is not the hot-headedness.
I was not aware about this.
This is the issue.
Now you do.
I'm fine, sir.
Okay. Very recently, we saw some demonstrations in Nepal,
Right, sir.
almost as if they want the monarchy back,
Yes, sir.
and along with the huge photographs of King Birendra Vikram Shah,
Yes, sir.
they also floated the photographs
Yogi
of.
Adityanath.
Now, how does Yogi Adityanath figure there? I can understand it's a domestic problem. It's an independent country,
Right.
such as it is. And let them have their monarchy, let them have their diarchy for all I care. But why take my chief minister?
Sir, actually, how I see this whole affair, sir, there was a lot of hope of Nepalese people when democracy came back there. Or with democracy, they thought that there is going to be radical change in their situations. Same has not happened. It has created a new kind of elite class. They are new emperor of Nepal, sir. So it has created such a huge resentment, and apart from it is coupling with a kind of the system that promotes monarchy, that is basically based on the Hinduism. So they see that some prominent figures who represent Hinduism, maybe this was the purpose they are floating those kind of figures there, so garner support among the masses, because if you see, sir, our few leaders of India, for example, Yogi Adityanath, or when Narendra Modi arrived there, I think some 2016 or 17.
When Shri Narendra Modi.
Shri Narendra. When he arrived there, he generated very huge response in Nepalese people. So a lot of people came to see. So maybe it is a way to generate more support in the Nepalese people, sir.
But why? I mean, I can understand India being India and therefore the mother lode of democracy and all that. So you have the prime minister, understood. Or you have the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, or you have the Sangh, or some such figure, if you're talking Hinduism. How is the chief minister of a state? Why not chief minister of another state, say Himachal or someplace?
So 2 or 3 regions that I can enumerate. The first one can be the geographical proximity.
Okay, very good.
And second thing is, due to some recent events, some recent decisions of Yogi Adityanath, maybe that has evoked such kind of response.
Now I'll tell you, both these reasons 1 and 2 are actually 3 and 4. The biggest reason is that the original sect, the Nath Sampradaya, there's a huge connect between the Nepalese people and the Nath Sampradaya, Gorakhpur.
Right.
Goraksha Karna. And that is the entire connect. So it's not just the chief minister thing, it's also his personal connect with the mutt. Okay? Anyways, we'll go along with that. In Kashmir, originally, who was the greatest king of all of Kashmir?
So it was Jainul Abidin, sir. Jainul Abidin was there. Then in Rajkarni,
greatest. Even by the most leftist elements, so-called most secular elements, that king stands out. Lalita Aditya. Kashmir की बात कर रहा हूँ.
Right, sir. Karkota dynasty.
So, and his empire spread to which areas?
Sir, his empire also had the erstwhile route of Silk Route, sir. Silk Route also came into
a lot of central,
right, sir. Tibetan region and Xinjiang province also.
So all this was great, and you had such a flourishing cultural center. So how did it suddenly become so Islamic?
So the Islamization of Kashmir can be seen. It was not one single event, sir. It has happened as far as I can.
Actually, there was one single important event.
Sorry, sir, I am not aware about it.
There was a Buddhist monk. Are you aware of him? Rinchen. Please read up about him.
Sorry, sir. Name.
Rinchen. Because of his caste.
Okay.
Well, he felt a lot of discrimination, so he converted to Islam, gave himself a Buddh shikan, and then went about doing a lot of, how should I say, destructive Islam. It was not constructive Islam.
Right.
There's a Sufi method of promoting Islam,
Right.
and this was the more like the Ghaznavi and Gauri kind of.
Right.
Okay. Anyways, last question. What is this? We hear that Sweden has suddenly said that we will be introducing paper, pen, and books in the schools. Have you read about it?
I haven't read about it, so but if you allow, I can provide some explanation behind this.
Okay.
So, since the advent of technological age, we have got to be so much dependent on technology and things that it has hampered the human capacity to memorize, human capacity to recall the things.
That is part of the reason, yes.
And second thing is,
what was the main concern of the Swedish school administrators?
Sorry,
To
sir.
reduce screen time on children.
Right.
Throughout the school, they are exposed to some screen or the other.
Right. Sir.
So they said back to blackboard,
Right. So digital.
paper and pen and books, no screen.
Right.
So it was this blue screen
ultra.
exposure which they wanted to avoid, and therefore the other things come later.
Right.
Okay, they are also explanations. Fine, then what is Mahasagar? Now, Sagar, I बड़ी मुश्किल से from 2015 to 2024 we kept on thinking Sagar याद आ गया. Now there is Mahasagar. Now I have to remember that also.
As far as Sagar is concerned, it is India's strategy into Indo-Pacific region, that is security and growth for all. And if we
What
call,
does Maha mean?
sir, I don't have a very accurate idea, but if I read the word Maha with Sagar and combined with the India's strategy, sir, so it denotes the increased responsibility of India in Indo-Pacific region.
No, there's a proper abbreviation. Maha, M-A-H-A. Just like Sagar is there,
Yes.
M-A-H-A is also there.
Sorry, sir.
You have not read. Please, wherever you have read Mahasagar in the Honorable Prime Minister's speech, please read what he has actually indicated. You Google it also, it should be there. Okay, end of your interview. You are an excellent candidate, no doubt. Small little gaps in your knowledge gaps are there, which is fine.
Right.
You can brush it up. Importantly, you are having analytical bent of mind, and you are able to at least come to most of the ideas are well presented. Fine. My one advice to you is address the question.
Right.
Do not address your fountain of knowledge. Okay.
Right.
Catch the hint in the question. What is it that the question intends to get from you? And then dive down and pick up those few sentences which address the question first. Secondly, pause and think and structure the answer. You don't be in a haste to answer.
Yes.
Especially when you are discussing with sir.
Right.
You are having a very animated discussion. So you almost tended to immediately respond. Relax. Yes. The good point is that if you, for example, wait. I asked you that question about Nath Sampradaya, all that
Right.
king thing, just to find out which of those 4 or 5 points you put first.
Right. Prioritization.
You did not, yes, you did not mention that one at all.
Right.
Had you said, number 1, it is about monarchy, number 2, it's about proximity, number 3 is about Yogi ji's connect with that Nath, I would have said, no, this is number 1. वो तो आपने बोला ही नहीं.
जी.
But you prioritize the issues in the importance we want to hear. Okay? You won't have the time to speak 10 sentences.
Right.
You have to deliver the punch in the first 3-4 sentences. That's the only advice I give you. Okay, sir?
And don't as Chairman has said, be to the point. You are asked that what is China's policy to undermine other countries, isn't it? Why you brought India, what India is trying to do? Yes.
Actually, to
What was the question?
China's efforts to undermine India.
China's effort, not India's efforts, isn't it? So unnecessarily you are opening up new flanks. There could have been n number of questions about what India is doing, this, that. It will make you uncomfortable. And secondly, Al Jazeera, you did mention, he mentioned Al Jazeera. Okay. The main objective of Al Jazeera is what?
So, journalism they say, but they promote Qatari's government policy.
It's an Islamist,
Right.
State-sponsored.
state Islamist. Qatar is the hub of all fundamentalists. Hamas has got their office there. Hezbollah has got their offices. Muslim Brotherhood has the headquarters there. And Al Jazeera. Sorry?
Taliban also had.
Taliban has also got, you name it. No, Taliban, ISIS, all their mother organization is Muslim Brotherhood, isn't it? So, they are state sponsored, and their BBC is also to some extent sponsored by British government. Okay, now Al Jazeera has got a Muslim Islamic agenda. Whenever there is anything between India and Pakistan, I do not know whether you have noticed, they will show events highlighting the Pakistan's standpoint,
Victimization of Pakistan.
isn't it? India's point of view have never been, and that is the reason Al Jazeera was banned in India for some time, isn't it? So this aspect, you think of it, as Chairman has said, that you prioritize your answers.
Actually, sir, I told about rights issue because whatever the reporting they do, they just cover it all with this rights issues and all. Ki rights issues, right violation is happening like that. And when
there are inside stories. There are excellent analysis, not only rights, development and all. Focus on Africa is an excellent. So it's not only on violence and conflicts and riots. No, it's a balanced. Otherwise, it's a balanced news channel. And most importantly, they are providing Arabic, English language news to the
Arabic population.
Arabic one. They are the first started to spread, to be an independent channel for an international independent channel for the Arabs. There was none, isn't it? Arabic, Al Jazeera English came much later. I think 6-7 years later, isn't it? So these points you have to highlight when the question of Al Jazeera comes. Okay, thank you.
All the best.
All the best.